This is Robert Mendez at RSA 2012 from NetHawk.tv. Fortunate today to have Vincent Schiavo, CEO from DeviceLock, Golden Bridge Award winner for their endpoint security. And welcome to RSA. Vincent, it's nice to meet you.
Thank you, Robert. It's nice to be here.
We want to talk a little bit about sort of the evolution of security. I know you've got a long background in it, and I'm guessing from the CIO, CTO, and the IT guy's perspective, how are things changed, and where do you see it going?
Well, when I got my start in this business, it was really all about perimeter security and setting up, a perimeter around your data center, your network operating center. And today, a lot of that's really disappeared. With the advent of bring your own device into the workplace, people are bringing their iPhones and iPads and Androids and all kinds of mobile devices right through that perimeter, and once they sit down at their workstation, they can put whatever they want on that device and walk out of the building. So that's a big challenge for IT security professionals.
Now, we talk a little bit about compliance, we talk about auditing, forensics. How does DeviceLock address those concerns? I mean, is there an umbrella strategic plan to address that, or how should the IT folks look at that for DeviceLock?
Well, most regulatory requirements have all kinds of different line items of things that are important. Sometimes they have to do with log collection and management and hashing information so it can't be tampered with, and preventing private information from leaving the organization, and there's all kinds of requirements. So we address some of those, mostly having to do with the endpoint, where people can take information that's not encrypted, put it on a removable device or a mobile device like a phone or a camera, and then walk out the door. So our products help mitigate those risks by allowing our customers to set policies for how those things are done and then enforce those policies, and either block or allow that kind of activity.
The whole bring your own device we sort of saw it coming a few years back a little bit. We talk about the piercing of the veil of the enterprise. Is it something that you anticipated, and where do you see it going? Do you see it continuously to grow because of the productivity benefits, or how do you see that in the marketplace in general?
The growth of?
Well, just the growth of bring your own device and being the enterprise adapting to the worker, I guess, more so than maybe the rigid rules that we once anticipated and saw.
Well, actually, it's been kind of interesting to watch, because there's kind of a conflict between the tendency to want to just set the policy and say, look, this is what we issue, this is what you use, take it or leave it, and that was sort of how it used to be in the old days. But I think a lot of it's being driven by maybe the younger workforce coming into the workforce and just saying, look, if you won't let me use my iPhone here, I'm going to work somewhere where they will let me use it. And in order to be a competitive employer, it's becoming important to let people use the current technology that they like to use. So it's very hard to just say no and not let people use what they want to use. So that's a big conflict, I think, in the workplace.
Has this role changed? I mean, from an IT perspective, with all these new devices, with all of the sort of the growth and different kinds of attacks and intrusions that we're seeing, I mean, from the expectations of the IT guy, how do you see that role? Is it more demanding now, and do you see it continuing to become more demanding?
It's extremely demanding. It's very challenging because there's so many threat vectors. It used to be, again, you could put everybody behind a perimeter and that was it. They didn't have any way of getting outside or of hackers coming in. But now if you can put information on a mobile device and leave the building, you pretty much have anything that you have access to inside the building, you can take outside the building. Also, there's issues of the mobile workforce, where you take a laptop and you travel to some location and you sit down in a Starbucks somewhere and you connect to the internet. Unless that company is very buttoned down in the way that they force you back through the company network via VPN or whatever, you're pretty much connected to the internet. You can do whatever you want. So again, that poses all kinds of risks. People can pick up viruses and other malware as they're surfing around and doing things. They can take company information out, post it up on Facebook or Twitter. It just creates all kinds of challenges in the workplace.
Would you like to take a shot at what the top 3 challenges are that you see for the industry in general, or for the user, for the companies? Let's say, I don't know if there's a sweet spot for your technology, but let's say ours is about 1,000 users. So what do you see the top 3 challenges, I guess, moving forward for DeviceLock and the market in general?
Well, yeah, for us, since we're kind of focused on this endpoint device security and data leak prevention, one of the biggest challenges is that a lot of people now are using these mobile devices to connect directly to the company network, and that's a big challenge because the vendors of those devices don't really make kernel level APIs available for vendors like us to easily go in and port our existing products over to them so that you can run them just like you would on a desktop or a laptop PC. So that's really forcing all kinds of workarounds where you can kind of drive the end user to be forced to attach through the company gateways to the internet via VPN or other means. And so that's creating some interesting opportunities though for vendors like us, and you'll see some things later this year that we'll introduce that'll make that whole process easier, I think, and more effective.
You've heard this, Vincent Schiavo, DeviceLock, RSA 2012. This is Robert Mendez with NetHawk.tv. Tune in, let us know what you think of this, and if you have any questions, let Mr. Schiavo know, and I'm sure we'll be happy to address those for you.